Please wait until our host promotes you to speaker. When you are promoted, please accept this promotion. Turn on your camera if you have one and your microphone. All speakers should begin their remarks by telling council your name, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. Please refrain from profane or obscene speech. Direct your comments to council as a whole. Refrain from individual or personal attacks, including disparaging other speakers' motives. We will begin in chambers with Mauricio Rodas. Come on up. Okay. See, Sam will need interpretation for this one. Su nombre y sí. Sí, tenemos traducción. Sam, are you ready?
Okay, yes, I'm here.
Thank you, Sam.
Por favor, siga adelante, yo soy su intérprete.
Muy bien. Pues yo me moví de Guatemala y estoy muy contento con la ayuda que me dieron este año.
My name is Mauricio Lorenz. I'm from Guatemala, and I'm very happy with the assistance I was given this year.
Y pues traté de usar el dinero lo mejor que se puede, ¿verdad? Arreglar mi carro, pagar las deudas y ayudar a mi familia.
And I used the assistance as best as I could to fix my car, to pay some debts, and help my family.
Y me están diciendo que hay probabilidades de extender otro año. Pues si se pudiera, pues yo se los agradecería porque trataría también de gastar el dinero en cosas que son productivas para mí. Por ejemplo, yo ahorita, mi familia, todos mis hermanos son ciudadanos, mi mamá es residente, nomás yo todavía no tengo mis papeles legales, pero para eso yo tengo que pagar abogado, tengo que seguir pagando abogado y comprar otras herramientas para poder seguir trabajando.
So there's been talk about extending the program for another year, and if it would be possible, that would be beneficial to me. Again, I would use the money as productively as I can, as best as I can. For example, all my brothers are not all citizens, but I am the only one who does not have a legal status at this time, so I would need to pay for a lawyer that would help me out in my case. And I would use the money as best as I could, as productively as I can.
Y
we all know that we need to find solutions to homelessness. The unfortunate thing is the homeless are often demonized, being blamed for their own circumstances. If one is opposed to cashless systems or even micro communities for those experiencing homelessness, it's good indication that everything proposed to support homeless, proposed to support the homeless will be disregarded. Everyone who is opposed to this, I ask you please let us know your ideas for addressing homelessness and let's get to work. Thank you for your time and consideration. I urge you. Yes, so
Our next speaker, Sarah Sanders.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is Sarah Sanders, and I am a disgruntled resident of D9. The hot topic in Denver, tiny home villages. These tiny home villages are built as a quote solution for homelessness. They are presented to the public as a safe space for folks to get off the streets. They are touted as reducing crime rates, open drug use, and a cure for the plethora of other issues currently plaguing our city. I have spoken with people from Portland, LA, Seattle, and what the city claims tiny home villages do is not what they do in other cities, including Denver. Moving people in the grips of addiction merely geographically relocates them, and they bring with them the problems that they have on the streets. In Denver, we saw the Alani SOS camp burn down to the ground. We've seen multiple murders and other violent crimes occur in these alleged, quote, safe spaces. We've also seen crime in the neighborhoods surrounding the camps proliferate. Drug dealing, prostitution, and violent crimes are co-located within these camps. Colorado Village Collaborative likes to tout their crime-free camps, but the truth is they are a beacon for crime, but CDC doesn't report incidents. They handle crime internally, as if the tiny home villages are sovereign countries following their own penal code. That is unacceptable. Enforcement needs to be a cornerstone of these tiny home villages. Residents in both the camps and the surrounding areas deserve to feel safe. For these camps to succeed, rules must be enforced. When laws are broken, the perpetrator needs to face criminal prosecution. For these camps to succeed, barriers for residency must be in place. These camps should not be a breeding ground of crime and drug addiction. How do we expect people to rejoin society when we allow them to live in a lawless swath of land without rules and enforcement? So I ask council today, what are you doing to prevent Denver's tiny home villages from going the same route that they've gone in every other city that has them? How will Denver have different results than Portland or Seattle or LA? More importantly, what the heck are we smoking that makes us think we will have different outcomes than every other city that has tiny villages has seen? Y'all are fooling yourselves if you think this is a solution. There are no solutions, only trade-offs. Have any one of you stopped to ask yourself what the trade-offs are? I'll tell you a glaring trade-off. You're trading the safety and security of every neighborhood you put a tiny home village in for a feel-good yet ineffective quote-unquote solution. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker in chambers is Kenneth Wheeler.
Hello, my name is Kenneth Wheeler. I love my mom. Thank you for this time to speak. I'm here to inform the government that I am willing to work with the federal government and a special task force to proactively prevent school shootings. Why federal? Across state lines. What skill set do I have? I am psychic. What experience do I have? I survived a school shooting at Hilton Middle School when I was a child that the government does not properly and openly report. I have informed the government of numerous shootings before they have happened, including but not limited to Trenchcoat Mafia at Columbine High School, Nickel Mines, Pennsylvania, Amish Schoolhouse, James Holmes, Century 16 Movie Theater, which happened here in Denver, Adam Renza, Sandy Hook Elementary School, Robb Elementary School, Uvalde, Texas. How will I do it? I will mean it. I will review whatever information is available, reports, statements, anonymous tips, and go from there. I will go wherever I need to go, speak with parents, teachers, and students, and go from there. The ball is in the government's court. This court is not safe for American children, proven by the government's impotency to properly perform. Thank you, hoorah.
Thank you. Our next speaker in chambers is Mary Putnam.
members of City Council. I'm Mary Putnam. I'm the founder and executive director of the Reciprocity Collective. We're a small nonprofit that works here in Denver with citizens who are experiencing homelessness. We were founded in 2016, and we have 3 significant cultural values. Number 1, attention and respect for the lives and voices of persons who are marginalized by homelessness. Number 2, to effectively leverage scarce resources through collaboration in the community by building healthy and safe lives for all. And number 3, keeping the beginner's mind to find and develop creative solutions to solve the social justice challenges of our community. When I first heard about Denver Basic Income Project in 2021, I reached out to them because that project shares the same values that the Reciprocity Collective does. And I'm always very interested in new solutions to the service provision for individuals experiencing homelessness. I joined the sector in 2011 after a 30-year business career, and I continue to be baffled by the lack of customer service sensibilities involved in services for individuals experiencing homelessness. And what I love about the Denver Basic Income Project is it literally gives the customer, the person experiencing homelessness, the power. The power to make their own decisions, the power to make choices, the power that you heard Mr. Rodas explain to help support the tools he needs for the job he does, his truck, to support his families. He's one of the individuals that our organization helps serve with Denver Basic Income Project. We serve 78 of the 820 individuals, and we've done so for the past year. So what does that look like? We reach out to them monthly. They connect more often as needed. We don't force them into interacting with us, but amazingly enough, over 60% of them interact with us on at least a monthly basis, if not more. What do they ask us for? They ask for advice, where to get resources. We've been helping now with housing navigation, with employment, with services for mental health and medical supports, and sobriety. Yes, mental health and sobriety. The 2 big elephants in this room when we talk about homelessness, and we paint everybody with that brush, and we paint them with that brush that there's nothing to be done about it. And I posit that what can be done about it is building healthy relationships in the community, opening the doors for individuals that suffer from mental health and addiction, and they feel isolated, they feel ostracized, but opening the doors to build a relationship that then starts conversations around recovery and mental health supports. Denver Basic Income Project opens that door. It creates the connection between a community service organization and someone who's been chronically homeless. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hi, is this picking up okay? Yes. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of City Council. My name is Julie Riskin, and I am a proud and very safe resident of Council District 9, living around 37th in Milwaukee, and I've been there for almost 30 years. I am here personally and on behalf of Colorado Cross Disability Coalition to ask for the extension for the Guaranteed Income Program, particularly for the $4 million. There are 800 people, and it's really important if we stop this program and then restart and don't continue it, we're going to lose all of the data and all of the infrastructure built. So it would really kind of waste money, I think, if we don't keep it going. It's very important to keep it going. People have asked, why is our organization so involved in this? Why do we care? Well, first of all, a majority, over 60%, depending on which number, but minimum of 60% of people experiencing quote-unquote chronic homelessness are people with disabilities. Second of all, the disability community has decades of experience with direct cash programs, and so we can say that they work, and they work better than anything else, mostly for reasons that Ms. Putnam described. A lot of our history in our community is by well-meaning people creating really paternalistic programs that quite frankly don't work for us. Our motto is nothing about us without us, ever. We support the council's and this administration's goals and passion about ending homelessness. and having a plan to house all of our unhoused neighbors. This is a piece of that puzzle. It's not the only, it's not the there's no magic solution, but this has to be part of the solution. And the first year of the pilot has shown a lot of promise, and the people in the pilot deserve that stability. We all know about the benefits cliff. We all know about the damage that happens when things are like kind of given and yanked away, and no one can live in that deep poverty and then become stable in a year. It's really imperative that we ask City Council to add that $4 million back into the budget. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker in chambers is Mark O'Brien. Mark O'Brien. See you line. No, okay. Our next speaker in chambers is Jenna Cornell.
Hi, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it. I applaud the mayor's efforts to house 1,000 people by December 31st. My brother died homeless. My concern is about how we measure that success. What's the report card? We don't want to end up like another city that just throws more money at it. These people need assistance with health care. They need dental care. They need mental health services. They need somebody that's going to help them get themselves back into society, because living in a, Mayor Johnson calls them tiny homes. There's no kitchen, there's no bathroom. These people need not just a handout, they need a hand up. They need people that will support the services behind them to get them out of homelessness. And what do you consider to be success out of homelessness? Is it 90 days? Is it 120 days? Is it 2 years? Is it 5 years? What's the report card? Because you know what, $245 million is a lot of dollars. It's a lot of dollars. And we need to have a transparent report card where that money was spent and how successful will it be. Because just a couple of years ago, we were spending $8 million. Now we're at $245 million. And I think we deserve a transparent report card. I think we need to have an avenue for success. My brother would have never survived just with a roof over his head. My parents were enablers. They gave him a roof over his head. He didn't have the services, the addiction services, how to make his bed every morning, just basic things like that. And he was not disabled. He was a brilliant man. Brilliant, an artist, an entrepreneur, everything. But these people deserve more than just that roof over their head, people. They deserve an honest way to get them out of homelessness. Don't just keep shoving them around from shelter to shelter. They need everything I stated. Above all, they need some health care. Some of these people haven't been to the dentist in 15 years. Do you know how bad it hurts to have one toothache? You can't even eat. So I would like you guys to all think about what's the report card here for success. I'm not in this report. I want a transparent report card so these people can get on their feet. It's not housing for people. I'm an assisted living administrator. I've been doing it for 19 years. I know what it's like to provide care for people. I provide care for people who have dementia that cannot care for themselves. And I'm asking all of you to come up with a care plan for these people. They're a whole person, not just a roof over their head. They're a whole person. When you move into an assisted living, we have a care plan before you get there. We know what you like to eat. We know your favorite music. We know what you like to do for art. We know what your medical conditions are. We've not heard any of this from this initiation. We've not heard any vetting services. I helped write an assessment tool for the transitional housing program because I had to mesh assisted living regulations in with Senate Bill 22-1303, which does have, background checks. We got to do this. They have to be able to be sitting in a group to get counseling so they can move forward. And that home opened August 1st. It's in Colorado Springs. And I was happy to be a part of that because I believe in that model. They have a road to success for these people. I do not think just a roof over their head is a place for success. Thank you. Sorry, it's
Council, congratulations, some of you haven't seen me since your elections to the dais. I have a bunch of things to say in a short amount of time to say it, but I'm going to start by agreeing with this young lady because I was at the Big Move this morning and I was there yesterday, and I experienced people who didn't have a plan. Now, rumor has it that one of the governor's balls or events at the governor's mansion is the reason that the timeline went from 28, 30 days of moving people and decommissioning a camp to 7 days. The people who are being moved don't have relationships with the care workers, with the industry that was just mentioned, to have a plan, to be conscientious about what you're packing to move into your home and what you're leaving behind, more than 6 hours or 3 hours before the first bus comes to take you. Mentioning that, when I arrived today, there were over 10 officers on site, many of them with their vehicles puffing and polluting the air in this location. What a great waste of resources to have 10 guns and a decommissioning of an encampment where we have a relationship with the tenants who are being moved. Mentioning relationships, I want to give a big happy shout out to the public health workers who are out on Federal checking to make sure that apartment buildings don't have mice or roaches. Also, there was a really one single hard worker today that I saw in a green shirt communicating with people while 15 people stood around and talked to each other as volunteers for the city. Mentioning guns. You don't need a gun to take out the garbage. Currently, EHS doesn't manage to take and clean the trash that's piled up in a set location unless they have an armed guard with them, full-time officer on duty. It's a waste of resources, people. In the same way that we've been at this dais, at the streets talking, the question's asked, what does a tiny house village look like without a kitchen? Well, services are people coming and feeding each other. Right now, over 200 people are eating outside. We build relationships with people. We do it on Sundays, we do it on Mondays, we do it all different days of the week. And when we have those relationships, people get housed. So, put some housing in the neighborhood, go serve it. Look at what First United Methodist Church, or the Methodist Church in Park Hill did. A great job of building relationships, of getting people housed. It works when we work it. But one thing that's not going to work is organizations like the Salvation Army who actively have crack and meth use in their shelters, running apartment houses under a zero-tolerance policy.
Thank you. Our next speaker joins us on Zoom, Elaine Saris.
Yes, hi. Can I be heard?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Council President Torres, President Pro Tem Sandoval, and members of Council. My name is Elaine Saris. I'm a resident of Congress Park, and I rise today to speak on behalf of the potential work the Council should do on extending Denver Basic Income Pilot Program. Guaranteed basic income allows individuals to avoid having to make the difficult choices between paying for increasingly expensive housing, healthcare, food, and other necessities. A special thank you to Councilwoman Parody and Councilwoman Lewis for working on this legislation and assisting my unhoused neighbor John most recently. He would have greatly benefited from basic income had it been made available to him. John is an endured cancer diagnosis while keeping the job he has had for over 5 years. Recently, he was forced to live in a tent in the backyard of a home where he rented a small room. His landlord charged him over $700 to live in a tent because she decided she would terminate the tenant's month-to-month leases. Many in our community are in an economic crisis, living at the margins due to these ever-increasing costs. These are the same community members who work hard every day and see very little of the benefits the rest of us enjoy. Let me point this out. This isn't the first time John has been housing insecure. Last time we helped him get a room at the All-In Motel until he could find another apartment. And basic income been made available to him back when he first became housing insecure. He may not have ended up in the tent most recently. I am happy to report that John is now housed due to the efforts of 2 councilwomen, his friends, the Community Economic Defense Project, and his manager. Not everyone has a support network. When we help one person maintain security and stability, we lift an entire community at the same time. We need to reimagine our budget for 2024, especially how it impacts those living at the margins. Continuing to pursue failed policies and budget priorities expected at different income is not only a poor use of taxpayer funds, it is also the definition of insanity. It's time for bold programs, new budget priorities that are fully funded and that are community-centric, really human-centric. Providing basic income ensures that our government providing health and safety for all, not just some who can afford the basic things all of us need to survive. Everyone in our community deserves to not only survive, but also thrive. Furthermore, I ask for an unrestrained program to assist as many people as possible in obtaining the economic stability they deserve. Those would include undocumented and those who suffer from mental health disorders, including addictions. Thank you again for the opportunity to share what is most important to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker in chambers is Robert Daly.
Hello, thank you for having me here today. I appreciate it very much. Government money for hotels that are used to assist people who have no money. This adds to our humanity. Government money for hotels that are used by billionaire investors in search of nothing but profit. This diminishes our humanity. Moving forward, corporate welfare will be considered to be nothing less than theft. The gloves are coming off. That hearing last week was bizarre. It was embarrassing to watch the Denver City Council steal money from Denver Public Schools in order to give this money to a commercial real estate developer for a boutique hotel. That was not a hearing, that was an advertisement. The developer stacked up several commentators, all with one goal: what's in it for me, me. Any person who thinks that that hearing had any balance to it is full of crap. The published agenda for that hearing did not even mention a word about money whatsoever. Rather than giving Brian credit, we should hold Brian accountable for allowing that building to look like such a piece of shit. For $20,000, he could replace the windows in that building. For $20,000, he could paint that building. $40,000 would give that building a completely different look. It's a beautiful building. It's built with concrete and steel. That building is solid as a rock. I read the Dura requirements, and this building does not fit all of the requirements. This money grab was illegal. For example, there are numerous new developments in that area. For example, there are numerous lots on Colfax and every other street that look much worse than 3015 East Colfax. That building is a beautiful building. It just needs a tune-up. But the owner of that property is a selfish pig. He had at least several $1 million to buy that property. That is more money than 99% of the citizens of this city will ever have. Tracy Huggins, everything you said falls in two categories: totally irrelevant or total bullshit. Tracy Huggins, you arrived to this chamber with zero intelligence. You're stealing money from the Denver Public Schools. This situation was nothing but a cold-hearted money grab by a commercial real estate developer who scams the city and the children of the city for more than $3 million. Ryan, you stole this money from the children of this city with approval of Denver City Council. Denver City Council, you steal money from the Denver Public Schools and you give this money to a commercial real estate developer for a boutique hotel. This abdication of financial responsibility by the Denver City Council and the Denver Public Schools only leaves the Denver Public Schools with even less money than the lack of money that they already have. Denver City Council, are you planning to steal more money from the Denver Public Schools? Because if you are, please let me know. I would like to be at that hearing. The person from the Denver Public Schools who approved this cold-hearted money grab, this person should be fired. Thank you.
Thank you. That concludes our general public comment session. Our next session will be on Monday, October 2nd. Silence begins at 11 a.m. on Friday, September 29th. We look forward to hearing from folks again. Thanks for attending.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Give me a minute break. We might leave.
Council will now reconvene from our early session. There is no unfinished business, and there are no